We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.
Welcome to the John and Rick Show. We are here in the John and Rick Show studio, and we are coming to you from Rebecca Farm with lots to talk about today. We've got a great guest coming up for you as well. Let's check in with our sponsors, and we'll be right back to get this show rolling.
Want to advertise on the John and Rick Show? Contact John at 352-875-8622.
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Welcome to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. John, this is our 14th episode in season 6.
Yes.
Right? And here we are. I'm at Rebecca Farm. You're at sunny Florida at your farm. But we have a great show coming up.
Except it's raining here. It's not sunny.
Oh, rainy Florida. It's raining here too. So we got the same thing. 57, 107.
Yeah, a little different.
Yeah.
A little different weather. So first of all, congratulations to Briggs. I see his feet on the couch there behind you. Briggs.
Wait, Briggs.
Congratulations. Rest up, buddy. You got a big trip home. You had a big weekend.
Yep. It was good. Rebecca Farm, it's what they all say. It's like magical. It's incredible. And it's taken me 15 years, John, to get here. But I got here, and Briggs brought us here and did a great job. A lot of things go, this, a lot of things go into finishing a four-long, right? And he has never done it. And I don't think until you've done it, you really know what really goes into it. And I think I'm really proud of the fact that that little pony, it finished across the finish line in cross country. And Briggs did such a good job at conditioning her. She came into the vet box, and they're like, did she just run? I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I actually wanted to say. And then when we're done with the show, when you guys get home, I want to talk to Briggs about as well, because I watched all of the four-long. I saw all those horses finishing, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, I know he had stuff on cross country, but I did not see a horse finish cross country better than that pony. She was just like, you felt like if you wanted to go around it one more time, she probably would have gone around it and been just fine. She was incredible.
Briggs would have needed roller skates just to go behind her.
maybe we don't want her so fit. I'm just gonna say, maybe.
It's funny you said that, because we were at breakfast this morning with Ronnie Beard, who came up to help him in show jump, and I looked over it. We've been talking about it. I mean, obviously he wants to be in shape. We all do, and want to do the right things with the strong little pony. And I said, well, maybe you did too much. Maybe she needed to be tired coming in.
Maybe.
We giggled and laughed, and he goes, no, I need to be in shape. So I think what he's going to start doing is rowing at the gym, the rowing thing.
Yeah.
I think the altitude had a bit to do with it for him. He really hasn't spent a lot of time up above altitude. Reddick is 72 feet above sea level, and Kalispell is 3,800 feet above sea level. So there was adjustment for him. Anyway, he did a great job. The pony was amazing. And the conditioning, he would be happy to. We just went back to the old General Burton or Jack LeGoff way of conditioning, which I did when I was doing mine.
Like with intervals and things.
Very much interval. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you kind of have to do at least a bit of that down in Florida for sure. Well,
yeah, it's funny because
it was a good first 4-star.
Yeah, definitely. And they finished in show jump, and it was incredible. The rails were Briggs, and the pony just wanted to jump out of her skin. But we had some great competitors there, John. And the biggest thrill, I think, was watching my bomb go
No kidding.
around at 19 years old for the last time. It was I started to tear up a bit for Tammy.
Yeah.
You know, it was pretty cool.
It was really cool watching it on TV. I mean, I know at 19 years old, she's doing the right thing, but you couldn't help but watch it and go, why are we retiring it again? Because it sure looks like he wants to go. But congratulations to Tammy and her team on that for sure. Because to be able to, I mean, first of all, what kind of a badass is Tammy to be able to say, I think I'm going to go to a 4-star for my horse's last run, and then I'll retire him at the end of the 4-star. Like that could have not gone the way she wanted it to. And then what? Like, she didn't care. She's Tammy. She's like, whatever, of course it's going to go the way I want it to because I'm Tammy and it's my bomb and it's going to be fine. And it was, and she knows what she's talking about. So congratulations to her.
No, I'm Tammy's a competitor, and let me tell you that Lexus is as well. And I saw him in the wash that we were stabled right with Tammy, and Alyssa Lexus's groom, who now is going to be able to ride him, was in the wash rack with him, and she's been handling him for years, right? And she went to go try to spray his face. He just reared in the cross ties over and over again. You've got to be kidding me. Could I please wash your face? It was amazing. So yeah, that was great. But also the 4 long had some good results. I think you got it, right?
I do. Hold on. I was just pulling up the episode number. So obviously Tammy won that again on that Lilith 3 horse. And that is such, I mean, honestly, all of the horses she had in the 4-star, I think she had 4 in the 4 stars amongst the 2 divisions. And they were great. She had Kynan, who is incredible. Coleman finished second on the Broussard's horse, Fahrenheit Addict, and that
Rebecca Farm,
cross country.
So back real quick, back to Tammy's first place horse. That horse is owned by Molly Duda,
yes,
which is an up and coming, really great rider on Disco
Traveler.
Disco Traveler.
Yeah.
So yeah, we noticed that. That was great.
Yep. And does she actually own it, or does she like she owned it? That's where Tammy bought it from. Owned it.
It's still lists. You know how things are. She's still listed as owner. Who knows if maybe
I think they actually own it for Tammy, but I could be wrong on that. So maybe don't quote us on that, audience members, because
right. I mean, that happens a lot. I mean, just the Markles, and we're digressing a bit, but my mom got to her from a girl that was riding, Alex that was riding my bomb, and that's how she gets her good horses. So that's good.
Yeah, the Aherns, right?
Yep.
So anyway, it was pretty cool. We had Tammy with 2 in the top 4. We had Jenny with 2 in the top 5. You had Will Coleman there in second. And then who I've been told will soon be an American, Lucienne.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, she got in there. She looked great.
Got in there and had a great finish, so good for her. And then we had Allison Springer. Like, she does such a good job with that horse, that Van Dyke horse. I know he's not the easiest on the flat, but just jumps clear round after clear round after clear round.
Yeah, she talked to us. She said, I think he's going to be a 5-star horse. I've got it. She goes, I've had some results back and forth, as we all do. We have a run by or fly by, but the horse, this course by Jay Hambley, by the way, your friend, our friend, your friend, really close friend, did a great job. So keep going on the results.
Jay did a great job. It was fun to watch. Good job, Jay. So we had Skylar Voss in there. She had a nice round. And then
Alex Conrad. Why are we frozen? Is that me frozen or you? So I'm not sure who's frozen
because we know Chris well, and I love this. I got you. You're here. Can you hear me?
You froze for a second, but now you're back. So keep going.
No, you froze.
Okay.
We froze. It's my internet. I guarantee it. Anyway, Chris Talley on Marco Polo. He had a handful of time, and I know it was interesting because I watched him go in the beginning of the course, and he looked great. Like, I assumed he'd be clean and fast, and then they kind of got away from him. Didn't see him at the finish, And then I heard his time. I was surprised that he was as slow as he was because he sure didn't look it.
Well, I think what you don't see with the 3 cameras that are on is the back loop. And he might have slowed down for reasons unknown to me. But
Right.
that horse is pretty cool.
Right.
10th with Alex Conrad.
Yep, on Malibu Preacher, and that's a cool horse, and I think is it thoroughbred?
It is full thoroughbred, and
Yeah.
we got to know Alex a little bit more here, and I'm sure it's public that he owns this horse because he's showing at Millbrook next week. He bought Wakita 54.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I thought
Good
that
for
was
him.
cool.
That's great.
Keep going.
And then we had Karen O'Neill, which was fun to see her out there. That's a cool horse, Clooney.
Yep. It is that's a nice horse. It's a German sport horse, but he's gigantic.
Yeah, it's a big horse, but she's a tall lady.
She is, but her student owns it.
Right. Yeah.
And then 12.
Annika Essling. And then there's this guy named Briggs Surratt. And then that is it for the finishers, really.
That's it. I know.
So
it was good.
It was great. It was a good, fun weekend. We had a great time watching the it was great that they had Sinead and Frankie doing the commentary. They did have some issues with the actual coverage, like getting the getting it to work. Like you'd go to the YouTube and it didn't come through on the YouTube. You had to go to Clip My Horse, but it was supposed to be on YouTube. There was some issues with it like that I'm sure they're going to try to get worked out going into next year, but it was great to have it on there.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch much of it because obviously there's a lot going on. So good for them, and they always do it.
No, go ahead.
They always do a good job. Those two.
Yeah, for sure. I guess the only thing the reason I would say it, I wasn't picking on anybody about that. I know Rebecca Farm probably paid a fortune to have that streaming done, and we all really appreciate it. I just put it out there because I don't know what the numbers were, but if they weren't as good as they would have hoped, I just want to make sure that everybody understands it was hard to find. It was hard to get. Even when I had my Clip My Horse subscription and I went through the Rebecca Farm website to get it, which took me to the Rebecca Farm YouTube page. For a while, it just kept replaying the promotional commercial over and over and over again. They got the bugs worked out mostly by Saturday, but it was difficult to get. And if you weren't like a real like hardcore fan, you would have probably just given up and gone on and done something else. So
right. Well, I'm sure they're making note of that because that is.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I just want people who are like the number crunchers, like, okay, well, how many views did we get? I bet they would have been even better had
more.
Had it been easier.
Well, let me tell you, the other great thing about the Broussards is the travel grants that they gave to everybody, which was very appreciated. We got a significant amount of money from that travel grant. They had the interviews for the Big Becky and Little Becky grants, which Briggs participated in, and they raised money for breast cancer because Rebecca Broussard died of breast cancer, and so that awareness is very big here. And I heard these figures at the silent auction. They raised $68,000 for research for breast cancer, and overall, since Rebecca Farm started, $1 million.
That's amazing. They are such a generous family, and I mean, I know that is a big pause for them because of Becky.
Every time, and one more point is every time you saw that the bow on the horses with the glitter, they don't hand those out. It's brilliant. They say you give $75, it goes to breast cancer research and awareness, and you get this and you get to paint it on your horse. So every horse that had that on them was donating $75 to breast cancer awareness.
Oh, wow.
So I thought that was cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We got this guy from somewhere that's coaching some team somewhere in the world. Are we going to have him on the show?
Yeah. So the big guest this week, guys, is Steffen Meier. He is the coach for Belgium. He is also married to a countess. So you're going to want to find out.
That intrigues you.
It does. It does intrigue me.
You just like the name Count. You need to have a horse named the Countess.
That's a good idea. If anybody has a horse named the Countess that they want to sell me, it needs to be It needs to be an incredible mover. You know what? It needs to be a good mover. It needs to be an incredible jumper, and it needs to be a really good jumper. It needs to be an incredible galloper. So good mover, very good jumper, incredible galloper. Also, cheap would be nice. Probably a mare with a name like Countess. I'm fine with that. And yeah, let's get that done. Send it my
Let's
way.
go. We'll take one of those too.
It'd be even better if somebody just wanted to own it and just have me ride it. That'd be ideal, to be honest.
Ditto. We'll take one called Dracula.
Yeah, I'll take any. It can be called whatever, but Countess.
You know, I did want to say Count Dracula on this interview that we're about to see.
I know. I don't know if he would have appreciated that or not, but
I know.
let's do this. Let's first of all, Briggs, congrats. Wiggle your toe for us so we know you're still there. He's out cold.
Asleep.
Oh no, he's wiggling a toe. I see it. All right, good job, Briggs. Well done. So let's take a break, and we are going to be back with Kai Steffen Meier.
Hi, Steffen Meier.
All right, got the cowboy hat.
Yay.
Hey, when do you guys come home?
Oh, good point. The pony just left 2 hours ago, and we're flying out tomorrow night.
All right. Well, enjoy your last day and a half in Montana, and let's go check out Kai.
Let's go.
EquiBrew, now available in the USA. It's a live probiotic that you feed daily to your horses. The live microbes go into your horse's gut and cleans up the gut wall, creating a healthy gut system.
EquiBrew is an essential part of my feeding program. My horses love to eat it, and it does a really good job of promoting gut health and also good behavior and great performances.
It's something I recommend for all of your horses, no matter what they do in their careers.
It's so affordable, I can use it on all of my horses in the barn, not just my top horses.
Order EquiBrew today by going to brickfieldnutrition.com or calling 850-879-2649.
If you're in the horse world, you need to have a good lawyer. Whatever the size of your business, having the best legal support is paramount. Rick and I use our friend and attorney, Yvonne Okrant. She's a partner at Hinshaw & Culberson LLP, which is a national law firm with over 450 attorneys. She's been at this for over 24 years and is licensed in Illinois, Florida, and Wisconsin. Yvonne can help you with contracts for horse purchases, sales and leases, as well as equine activity liability, releases, and training and boarding contracts for individuals and entities. If you need help with a syndicate, she's done over 350 contracts and operating agreements for sport horses in all three disciplines. Whatever your legal need is, Yvonne can assist you. Call her at 312-704-3080 or email at yokrant@hinshawlaw.com. So we just told you all about Yvonne Okrant and wanted to just remind you guys to give her a call if you have any legal needs involving anything in the equine industry. Make sure you use the promo code HORSELAW. That's going to get you a free initial consultation. Again, remember that promo code HORSELAW. You're going to love Yvonne.
Hi, my name is Caroline Pamuccio, and I'm here with Jump for Joy. These are one of my key training techniques I use at home. They're extremely easy to use. They're very safe. And the thing I love about it is that they fall down. They have safety cups on them, which are extremely important to me to keep me and the horse safe. I love the fact that Jump for Joy has these type of brush on the jumps. It's a really easy way to teach my young horses how to jump through brush properly. There's not a better jump on the market.
Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique allows him to identify and alleviate tightness in muscles. He uses trigger point massage to release points of restriction. Grant has over a decade of experience fitting and adjusting a wide variety of saddles. His expertise in equine physiology, coupled with a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle, allows him to quickly identify and correct any balance issues. Grant can also adjust your saddle on site. Grant works on all of my competition horses, and I have noticed a significant improvement in their performance at competitions and their overall way of going. Grant's based in Ocala, Florida year-round, but regularly travels to the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454. Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and we are in the Horse Trailer Pro studio. We are coming to you guys from all over the world. We are in the EquiBrew segment. EquiBrew is an awesome live probiotic, and we are, as always, very appreciative of EquiBrew for sponsoring this segment. And we're really excited to introduce our guest for today's podcast. We have Kai Steffen Meier. Kai, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So Kai, for those of you who don't know, as well as having a very successful eventing career to the top level, you've sort of recently, in the last, well, not recently, but in the last several years, you've taken on the role of Belgian team manager. Is that correct?
That's correct, exactly.
Yeah, so we got big time leadership for the Belgium event team here. Um, so I guess the thing that I think is sort of where I want to start with is that position as Belgium team manager. Sort of what is your day to day? What does that job entail?
Well, what is my day to day in that is it's 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 not really a day-to-day business. There's like obviously like every season goes a little bit in some vagues, and so there's a lot of different challenges. So it's you have to deal with a lot of different characters with your riders to see how you can manage each individual with their horsepower in the best preparation towards the big events, towards the championships, to bring up the, let's say, the younger generation or new horse rider combinations. And yeah, it's you try to literally really manage all those people that they go on as much as possible on the events you would like them to go, to bring the horses into the situations to which you want to expose them. And so you have to yeah, you have to it's a lot about communication, it's a lot about trying to bring them always in the good direction, that yeah, you have a team that goes in all, at least as many as possible, go in the same direction towards the championship, and to create a bit of a, let's say, friendly rivalry.
Right. So I know here in the States, one of the big challenges for Leslie and for some of his predecessors has been that it is such a big country. Everybody's so spread out, and trying to get to give everybody all the attention that they need, keep them all competitive with each other, and keep that team cohesion. Obviously, Belgium is a smaller country, but there's got to be some challenges there as well. Like, how many riders do you have sort of in that top list that you're responsible for?
Um, well, in the top list, I would say it's about really like 12 that I would say is the strongest group, like the A team. But then you have, let's say, the same amount of riders, let's say, in the B group, and in the ones that are coming up. Um, Obviously, yes, the country is much smaller. Um, so it's well, we're basically in 2 hours you're everywhere from my place. You're everywhere in Belgium, so that makes it easier. But still, okay, we have a European circuit, so there's also to regroup them to go to similar shows. So there's still challenges. Obviously, you see them, yeah, more um, on a more regular basis, and they come for training, and it's let's say it's easier in that way to stay connected. But yeah, it has sometimes probably also the challenge by itself. We have, especially Belgium has a little a funny culture with having already three official languages, and so for a very small country with about 10 million people living here, it creates something very interesting from a culture point of view, that you have the north that speaks Flemish, or which is close to Dutch, and then the south speaking French, and then you have a small German area direction to the German border. So this creates also certain complexity in things. So that's, I think, why the Belgian Federation also likes to take German team managers. As my colleague in show jumping is also German, so probably we're considered relatively neutral in that way.
Right. Yeah, fair enough. Go ahead, Rick.
I was going to say, and so based on your 12 riders, are there a bunch of, are they spread out on the language issue, or are you pretty good on communication between all of them?
No, I mean, that's, well, I would say it's kind of like very leveled from French speakers to Flemish speakers. Um, and okay, we have a bit like to, because it's in Belgium is a lot about also politics, even let's say in which language is a document published.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we, from the very beginning, we said, okay, we go to something that is the most neutral possible. So we do all the communication in English. So no one feels left out or ahead of the other one. So that works actually quite good.
That's super interesting because I taught down in Puerto Rico for a couple years as the coach, and that's I don't know, I'm terrible. I should know this. Whether it's a territory or protectorate, I think it's a territory for the U.S. Um,
Right.
sorry, guys from Puerto Rico, if I have that wrong, I shouldn't, but I think that's
I think
correct.
it is territory.
Um, and most of the riders spoke English, but we had a couple that didn't, and it was a challenge. You're trying to teach them, and you have a translator there. So everybody that you have on your squad, they all speak English fluently. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
I would say
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
I'm going to jump in. I was reading a little bit of challenges for 2024 for Paris. Is that all resolved now, or how are things moving forward since then?
Well, yes and no. I mean, this the whole story around Tina Magnus. I mean, we could or she could prove where this contamination came from. We could she basically could prove her innocence. There is obviously a long procedure afterwards
Yeah.
towards the company who produced that product and who labeled it as doping free and who now for my feeling should take responsibility in that, but that's an
Yeah.
ongoing process.
Sure, it's a challenge for every team. I do believe every country when we come into all kinds of different products out there that we can, grab a hold of and use, not knowing that if they're saying, test free but I think that puts us all into the position now. We're extremely, I'm sure y'all are now very paranoid about what's going into the horses' feed and their hay and where you're getting stuff from. So how are you kind of circumventing any of that happening in the future? Like, personally on our side, we really try to understand it, and it's hard because there's a lot of things out there that you just don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I think um already before, but even now afterwards, we have all become, let's say, healthy paranoid. Uh,
Yes.
so yeah, it's sometimes very difficult to explain to people why we don't want their dogs anyway loose in the stables and why we don't want anyone coming close to the horses and just touch them or whatever. So that's let's say that's obviously something that had have happened also to all. So we have really like the grooms are briefed to really pay attention that no one comes near the horse and touches the horses. We have now obviously we try to do a lot of sensibilization to really bring that into the rider's head that they need to be careful of which products they use and really double check. Or for the next championships we will kind of like really double check and test every single product that will be used, and so you only use then the tested products to be as sure and safe as possible. But to be fair, with the case of Paris, we did complete pre-testing with all the horses where we run everything, all kind of products, everything they will get in Paris. We gave it, we tested the horses, and everything came back negative. So the longer that the whole case was investigated, the more we found out about it. It was even there's a lot of parameters involved in terms of like how quick a horse is tested after um, the product is given, which temperature, even for a mare, and which moment of a cyclist she is, and so it's very difficult to obviously close all the doors, and I think it's also very hard. I think on the whole team, on all the riders, on the stuff around to be able to prove that from our side nothing went wrong and still you're guilty and you lose the fruits of 4 years of work. Yeah, I think it's hard, it's tough.
It's very tough, and my heart goes out to y'all because it's frustrating, I'm sure. but I mean, to your point of teaching everybody, I mean, even today, before you thought it was safe to go, I mean, some people go to the bathroom in their horse's stalls, and I was like, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
You cannot contaminate your horse. You have no idea what you're doing. So yeah, we all have to be very careful. So what's your plans moving forward? What's your next big thing for a team competition? Were y'all at Aachen?
No, we don't. We didn't have a team in Aachen. Aachen is, let's say, invitational only, and
Yep.
they invite the teams according to world rankings. And yeah, we were sadly, we had like with Lara and Karen Donkers, we had two riders well placed in the world rankings, but we're missing the third one to actually get a team into Aachen. So that's, yeah, a bit bad luck.
So what's your
So we've now with a, let's say, a younger team that goes to Avanches in Switzerland next week for the Nations
Okay.
Cup. And then we have in Arville, middle of August, our home Nations Cup, which is also last outing before Europeans in Blenheim. So that's the next big highlights, and then after that is basically everything a bit like aiming towards Boccolo as a good season finale.
So we've got the Europeans coming up, like you said. So I guess before we even get into that, your wife, Laura Liedekecker Meyer, did I get it right? Did I say it right?
Quite good, yeah. Well
Pretty
done.
good for an American. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank you. So she events for Belgium, right?
Yes.
So is that complicated? Because I can't imagine that over here that the team manager would have their spouse riding on the team without the rest of the entire contingent of riders having a complete meltdown about it. So obviously you guys have figured this out because you've been doing it for a while, but there's got to be challenges there. If not with the other riders, I can't imagine me trying to give my wife instructions as to how she needed to get things done at a competition. So how do you deal with that before we even get into the team?
Yeah, well, as you already quite well pointed out, it is it's not the easiest situation. Um, but okay, let's say from a federation point of view, from a team manager point of view, it was um, everyone knew that before. Lara and me, we were already married when the federation hired me. And okay, it was, yeah, it was a given situation, and everyone was, let's say, well aware of that. And well, the situation Belgium was in, it was they were probably happy to take that risk. And I think well, the results over the last 4 years has quite shown that the idea was maybe not the worst one. So I think for Lara, it was probably the first 2 years was quite difficult because she needed to kind of find her own balance in the whole system and then in the team. And yeah, it obviously our own working wise changed. And the fact that, well, obviously I had this conflict of interest, or even or at least a perceived conflict of interest. And so when I was putting quite clear boundaries into that, it's for sure worked a bit also in our relationship. But let's say we worked through with it, and Lara knew that, let's say, the best option to not have that issue is just being better than the rest. And I think she has she took a lot of motivation also out of that, and then has now the last 2 years really outperformed herself with a lot of different horses. And yeah, so I think she got along with that idea. And yeah, I think it's with all that. And I remember when I was still a pony rider, one of my best friends, he was the son of the pony coach, and his dad always said it's very simple, you just need to be better than everyone else, and then you can go to every championship. And so
That's great advice.
and yeah, I think at the end it's here as well. She does her thing. She's very solid now in everything, and she has really stepped up to that. And so I think then it does a lot of good things. It shows on one hand that, let's say, the system that Lara and me also for us put in place with privately, but also with the training of our horses, it works. And so I think it also gives other riders the confidence in let's say going into the system and trying to develop with this system. And I think at the end, if you perform well enough, there's not really a question coming around for that.
So I want to hold on the European stuff till after we take a break, but we have a few minutes. And one thing I sort of warned you about was being an American, we're always pretty impressed with titles and things. And when I was doing my research for this, which I didn't realize, when I put your wife's name in the internet machine, it comes back and says Countess Laura Liedekecker Meyer. So I know you told me there's a little catch with that now, which I want you to tell us all about again. But okay, what is a countess? How do you become a countess?
Okay, now you're getting me on the wrong foot. I could tell you about what happened afterwards, how she became it. Well, actually by her family.
Right. Okay.
So you're born in that family, and so my father-in-law is a count, and so his children.
So how is a count related into the royal family? How does that happen? Like, what are you like? You're the uncle, the cousin? What is a count?
No, I think it goes. I mean, if you go down from it, you have kings, and then you have princes, and it goes a bit further down the line, and then you have the counts.
Okay.
Don't make me rank them now. I'm not.
No, you need to rank them.
No, you need to again go back to the internet search machine.
Okay, I'll go back to the internet search machine.
I'm sure you can manage that in the break, and then we have to catch up on that later.
We can talk
Okay,
about it.
all right, we'll do that.
Okay.
It's kind of where Count Dracula came from, right?
Oh, I knew we were going to go there eventually. Okay,
I mean,
but then so
hey.
the other interesting thing, Rick, that Kai
Yes.
was telling me is he married a countess, but he is not a count. So Kai, go on.
So actually, what happens let's say in the very traditional way of that is that if Lara as a countess marries whatever civilian like me,
Commoner.
she loses her title.
Oh,
So there's actually no countess anymore.
That's rough.
well, that
That must-
happened, in the English rule too. I mean, it happens.
I mean, that's got to make you feel pretty good because that's true love if she's going to give up her title for you.
Oh yeah, we can interpret it like this, but I don't think that I think she never has been really in this role of being a
Countess.
countess. I think she's very happy if she sits on a horse, and that's the most important thing for her.
All
So
right.
the
I was
rest is
trying
gonna
for her.
That's what counts.
So clever. All right. On that, I think we should take a break. Let's take a break. We'll regroup. We'll try to get a little more serious again. So we're going to check in with our sponsors. Thank you again to Equibrew. It is an amazing live probiotic. I use it on all of my horses. Rick obviously uses it on all of his. It is FEI safe and non-doping. It is like kombucha for your horse. So even the Belgium eventing team can use it and they will be thrilled with it. So let's take a pause and we'll be right back.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Another thing I love about Jump for Joy is that the jumps are so easy to move. It takes me and one other person to make a whole new cross-country questions. No tractors needed. I've got a lot of different sort of questions I've been able to design with these jumps. Set up some really difficult angled hedges, bank out the water to an angled hedge, and have these really nice skinnies. And another great thing is they have these amazing flags, so the horses always understand the jump between the flags.
All right, so we're here with Sally Spickard, and I wanted to mention the new podcast, Go Eventing. Sally, it is going to be great.
yeah, we're really excited about it. It's going to have bi-weekly episodes. We're going to have about 20 episodes for you in 2025. So we're very excited to have kicked this thing off, and would love for everybody to take a listen. So I think we'll all do a lot of the same things, but I think more podcasts in the eventing space especially is going to be really cool.
Yeah, I really like the idea. And Will Faudree is the first guest that you're having. What a great first guest to have.
Absolutely, yeah.
Everybody out there need to watch or listen to your show on all the podcast outlets.
Yep.
And you can go to Eventing Nation's
eventingnation.podbean.com is the main podcast page. So you can listen to it there or on your favorite podcast platform.
Go eventing.
Go eventing.
Hey, it's John here. I just want to let you guys know I got back from schooling at Magnolia Sands Farm here in Ocala, Florida. Their cross-country field is perfectly suited for a first outing on a young horse or schooling your upper-level horse. Magnolia Sands offers over 110 jumps ranging from starter to intermediate, plus multiple banks, ditches, and waters. They're constantly updating their courses and have even added new ditches and a starter ditch wall. Conveniently located in Northeast Ocala, Magnolia Sands has made it easy for riders and trainers with online waivers, Venmo, and PayPal, and even offer a golf cart for guests. MagnoliaSandsFarm.com. Since 1950, Maison Forestier has been offering its know-how to design custom-made saddles for passionate riders. In 2016, Maison Forestier took a turn and expanded into the sports world with the goal of improving the performance of the rider-horse pair. You will find a professional, reactive, and fun team to answer your needs. And this is why I have chosen Forestier for all of my saddlery needs. Feel free to contact the saddle expert in your area for more information by visiting www.forestier.com.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. Sorry, I'm here in Montana right now and little tie tongue. Thanks for staying with us, and going into our next segment, Kai, we're going to talk about the great Europeans that are coming up this fall. Can you tell us how far along in your decision of what that team looks like and what the preps are for it?
Well, we've now, the season is quite on its way now, and so we have most of the horses have 1 or 2 more outings until Blenheim. There's some horse and rider combinations that are, with the results they had last year, this year, that are already quite, let's say, safe. They just need to show a little bit that they are in the good flow. There's still some others, some also younger combinations that try to jump now onto that train to Blenheim, and I think it's a very good opportunity this year, especially to bring maybe new horses, new riders to a championship, to have actually more selection for the Worlds next year with horse rider combinations that have a championship under their belt. So I think this is one of the most interesting parts of it. And then I think having a championship in England, which Blenheim Palace, I think is probably one of the nicest venues to host the championship. So I think it will be quite cool to go there. And so
So on the European Championship setup, is it 4 on a team, 2 individuals, or do they have a limit on individuals, or is that the setup?
No, it's 4 in a team, 2 individuals. So that's very classic European setup.
Way better than the Olympics now. So that's good. Can send more people.
Well, I like, to be fair, from a Belgian point of view, I like the Olympics.
Of course you do.
Because,
you got the 3.
Yeah, there's only 3, and if especially, let's say, if the big nations, they have, if now at Blenheim, whatever, one Brit falls off a horse on cross country, there's a 4th one afterwards who will make up for it. So while what happened last year to the Germans, they lost 1 ride on cross country, and so it's something, it is very hard and tough in the sport but it opens more doors for the smaller nations. So I think it's a very interesting format for us.
And I think to your point, I think that's kind of why the format came into play, right? So there was leveling the playing field a bit. But to your point, it's a good point for people listening, that coming from a country that isn't on the large side of having a full team member with the experience that you need for the Olympics. But back to the Europeans, when is it exactly? In September?
It's middle of September. I think it's the third weekend of
Yeah,
September.
it's 2 weeks after Burley, isn't it? I think
So,
you have Burley
so
off weekend, then Blenheim. Is that right?
Well, I can have a look.
You can look it up. You can look it up. But I'm pretty sure.
as he's looking it up, I think the point would be, and I heard this is what I heard you say. Most of your horses, or the ones that y'all are aiming toward the Europeans, just basically need to dust off the cobwebs a little bit and not overdo before the Europeans. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, I think you always need to manage a little bit the horsepower you have, and I think I've I've learned now a little bit over the years that you you need to be a bit confident, and the more you know your horses, the better it is. And I think it's sometimes for yeah when you have when it comes a bit down in the line of selection, like the number five, six, seven, eights, then it's then where really the most recent form might decide on a selection. While usually I would say in most of the countries it's like the one, two, three, they are yeah, you have something in mind already in probably in May for that to see okay, and now this one has done that. We go via this way to try to bring them in the best possible way there. And obviously, okay, sometimes you have to adapt a bit the plan because something doesn't go according to that. But um yeah, I think most of the horses, yeah, you want to see if they're fit enough, if they're sound enough, if they're in a good shape. Um, but yeah, like by now again, I know all my horses a bit, and I know how they do, and also let's say how they need to be prepared for what comes up.
So, Kai, maybe you said it. I was busy looking for royal family lineage and how that works. But when is so first of all, Blenheim, is that, am I right? Is it 2 weekends after Burley?
Well, I don't know. I didn't
Let's
look
just
up.
go
You
with
didn't
that.
look. It doesn't matter. Let's just say it is.
18 to
Yeah.
21st
Okay.
September.
Yeah. Okay. So, um, what do you guys have a set date? Like this is when the team is going to be picked by?
Yeah, we have our selection meeting is I think the 18th of August or
Okay.
19th.
So they'll have about a month.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Um, well, that's exciting and good luck at the Europeans. I mean, obviously, everybody wants to go there and they want to have a great performance, and we'll be cheering you
Well,
guys on for that for sure. Yeah, Rick.
on the Europeans, John, maybe you can answer this. Is Jay Hambley going over the
He's the
Europeans?
assistant designer. Yeah, he'll be.
Okay.
It's right during Bromont, but I know Jay is going to be out there. Mark Phillips is the designer, and Jay will be out there as assistant and helping set the fences
So
the week before.
Kai, the only reason I mentioned that is that Jay Hambley, we're in Montana at the Rebecca farm. It's got the forelong here, and he is his first year as designer here at Rebecca Farm. And I thought it would be a good plug for Jay Hambley, that's a friend of ours, John,
Yeah.
especially you, that he will be over at the Europeans. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think
So Kai, aside from all of that, you run Arville Sport Horses with your wife. And obviously, like you said, like team manager stuff, everybody's super interested in that. Um, but it's not your full-time thing. You got, I think, two pretty full-time jobs. Maybe we could call it three because one of them has two people. Well, I guess three, but two little people involved in it. So tell us a little bit about your day to day. I know you've got those two great kids. And then what is Arville Sport Horses? What do you guys do?
yeah, well, okay, obviously I'm first and foremost I'm husband and father. I think that's always
Yep.
but more important than all the rest around. Now Lara and me, we're now married since nearly 11 years. We have two kids. Our daughter Chiara, she's 9, will be 10 in November. She's eventing herself with two ponies. Um, has a lot of fun with that. And our son Arthur, he's 7, and he's a typical boy, so he loves tractors, machines, and everything that rolls and makes a noise. So
Yep.
that's
Yep.
that's yeah, I would say pretty basic. And no, for the rest, yeah, okay, we have what's my day to day. I have our sport horses that we have Arvel Equestrian is also let's say it's a training base also for a couple of riders that are based sometimes for some for 2 months or 3 months, some others for also for 1 year or even longer that come to train with me with Lara. We have obviously quite a few horses also in work that we have the ride for owners, but also horses from ourselves that we ride, produce, also to sell. Some of them. So yeah, I would always say it's a kind of a very normal horse person's life,
Right.
maybe.
Right. And
Just like yours, John,
you're
just
still
like yours.
competing. You're still competing, right? Because you were just over in Poland and had a result there. And so how much are you still competing and riding?
I'm now considering myself as very ambitious amateur. Um, I no, I have to say I actually like I would say it's 4 years ago, 5 years ago probably. I was a bit I competed still a lot, and I was just it was so much that I didn't have any pleasure anymore if it was jumping clear around across country or if I had to stop or whatever. It was kind of the same. It was a bit like too much of a routine day-to-day business, and so it was a good moment also to change a little bit your approach to not be in this situation that you every day you get on a horse and you have to ride again and again. When you was not, I started the whole job in my life like this because I enjoyed riding, and it came to something that it was becoming a bit more of a must. And so I wasn't really, I was up and down riding a little bit. And last year, I normally wanted to ride a bit more. Then I had a skiing accident and I ripped basically all the ligaments out of my knee.
Oh,
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
it's
which
always
took me
skiing.
again a bit longer on the side. And when Lara broke her collarbone last year in August, end of August, just before Burley, um, I then actually had to ride her horses quite a bit. And there was a few that I suddenly said to her, like, oh, actually, hmm, that's quite fun. It's fun. I like it. And but yeah, not with the idea to say, oh, I want again to have a string of 10 horses and want to go out and compete every weekend. But I actually kind of, let's say, stole in a way the 6-year-old that Lara rode last year in Le Lion, because it just turned out to be a bit too much horse for her, and I really enjoyed riding her when Lara was injured. So I started competing with her a little bit this year, and well, she's 7. She's again qualified for Le Lion. It's yeah, but it's really like in a fun way. I enjoy it. Helps me. I think it keeps me a bit sharp in terms of teaching, but also designing to stay a little bit more on a horse and to have again a bit the feeling when you travel around cross country. So but yeah, it's really now it's much more really as a fun thing and a bit more rather than like taking it super serious to whatever.
Hey, that's amazing because I kind of feel in the same boat there. But then you mentioned designing. So let's swing into that. Do you really like designing? What is it about it that kind of drew you to wanting to be a designer?
To be fair, actually, I never thought of becoming a designer. It was I started eventing and I always kept eventing because I love cross country.
Right.
Uh, for me, it was still always a bit. Sometimes in the review, I say I was still sad. I had a very good horse who did in Carrascada, who was my absolute top horse, and she was just a bit in the wrong time because we still had a dressage coefficient, so you had a lot to catch up after dressage, and so she did that well. But I think nowadays she would have been much more competitive. Um, but it was Rüdiger Schwarz who was my junior young rider trainer and was then course designer in Aachen for 20 years. And when I got more and more involved in our event at home at Avil, um, I yeah had a bit the idea, the vision. I wanted to change the whole thing, the whole course, the whole approach. And I asked Rüdiger um, if he would help me with that as a designer. And so he liked the idea, and we worked really well together from day one. and yeah, with the time, then okay, as I live here, so I was then I got new ideas, and I tried to play around with ideas. So when he would come the next time, I would say, okay, what do you think about that? I put a fence here, put a fence there. I think this could be interesting. And so he was actually then the one encouraging me to say, okay, do that more. You this is good what you're doing. So, and that was he was really like the definition of a mentor to me, and pushing me in this direction. So and then yeah, it somehow just started its way, and I got my national course designer license, and I started the FEI route, and well, then everyone kind of like pushed me a bit in good direction, sometimes to do crazy things. So I had to just somehow before deadline still do an FEI course to become level 3. So the only one that was there was in New Zealand, which is literally the other side of the world. But my wife said to me, "Well, you don't have really something else to do at that time, so just go." And I did that, and yeah. So with the time, it just I yeah, I really enjoy designing. I really like the idea to be able to somehow shape a little bit also the future of the sport. And yeah, it's I think it's for the people around me sometimes a little exhausting, because I will see somewhere piece of land where I say, oh, this could be great, doing this or this or
Yeah.
that. Um, so yeah, but no, I really enjoy it, and I really like it.
But that's good because we need more up and coming good designers that really know what they're doing. So I'm excited for you to continue on.
So Kai, I'm ignorant here. I know you were a designer, but what venues do you design at? Like, what are your big spots you have right now?
You just said New Zealand.
No. That was for the licensing.
Oh, okay.
Yep. No, obviously, okay. I design, like, let's say, all the courses at Arville. I
Yep.
cannot design the 4-star because I'm chef de keep for the Belgian team, and it's a Nations
Right.
Cup.
Yep.
So this year I have Marcin Kanarski from Stregom designing the 4-star here, and I will design the 4-star at his place in Stregom in
Well, that's
September.
a good little clever trade. That works well.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. For me, to be fair, it's good. You have another venue you can learn on.
Yep.
I've now I've done one event last year in Sweden, a bit like to bring it up the first time to 4-star level, and I've now another event also in Sweden that we had a test event this year with 2 and 3-star. It's in Strömsholm, and like an hour and a half of Stockholm, and they run a first time 4-star next year. And yeah, then you just yeah, it's the thing with courses, and it's like courses, especially the higher the level goes, it's not so easy they're not just on the open market, so it's
Right.
very difficult to get into the bigger classes. And so um yeah, you have to try to find a bit your way into that, especially in the 4-star level. It's gets a bit
Yeah.
more tricky, but so it's I'm yeah, fortunate enough to have with our Bill venue. Then next year we will not have a Nations Cup here because of a time clash, so I can finally design my home venue myself, so which is exciting. And then yeah, I have for next year a few other events, and you try to develop them further on, and it's kind of yeah, it's it's exciting.
That's
Well, that's
great.
cool. That's good. What I took away from that is if any organizers are looking for some good 4-star course design, um, you would answer the
Yeah,
call.
absolutely,
All right,
absolutely.
perfect.
Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. I know, like John said, we're all spread out throughout the country, world right now. So cool to cover all aspects of it. So thanks from Montana.
Thanks for having me. It was cool. And
Yeah,
yeah,
Kai, thank you, and good luck at the Europeans and with everything else this year, and the
Absolutely.
course design, and keeping the kids in line and paying attention. And sincerely, thank you for taking the time. I know you're a busy man, so we appreciate it.
thank you.
And We appreciate all of you guys tuning in and watching the John and Rick Show. As always, thanks to all the sponsors, especially to Horse Trailer Pros. If you guys have any issues with any of your horse trailers, really anywhere in the US, you should bring them to Ocala and have Matt and his team work on them because they are the best. But certainly if you're in the southeast of the United States, go check out Horse Trailer Pros. They are an awesome company and they look after Rick and I, and we can't say enough how much we appreciate them. So until the next time, thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank you.
We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.